There was a time when my world felt like a shattered mirror. Each piece reflected a different version of me, and none of them felt whole. I drifted through my days with a heavy heart, feeling profoundly lost and disconnected from everything around me. The vibrant colors of life had faded to a dull, monotonous gray. It felt as if a thick fog had settled over my soul, obscuring my path and silencing the joy that once lived within me. This period of deep sadness was not just a passing mood. It was a profound sense of being broken, a spiritual ache that no earthly remedy seemed to touch. I was a ship without a rudder, tossed about by the relentless waves of despair and confusion, praying for a lighthouse that I could not see. In this quiet darkness, a strange and persistent feeling began to stir within me. It was a gentle yet undeniable sense that I was not truly alone in my struggle. It was a feeling that there was something more, something vast and loving just beyond the veil of my ordinary perception. This sense was not a thought, but a deep, cellular knowing. It was a whisper in the silent moments, a warmth that would unexpectedly envelop me when I felt my most desolate. I started to believe that the universe was not a cold, empty space, but a living, breathing consciousness that was aware of my pain and was gently calling me home to myself. This inner nudge was the first thread of light pulling me forward. As I held on to this fragile hope, I started noticing small, meaningful signs that seemed to appear just for me. A feather would land at my feet at the exact moment I was asking for guidance. A song with profoundly relevant lyrics would play on the radio right when I needed to hear its message. These were not mere coincidences. They felt like carefully placed breadcrumbs on a path leading me out of the woods. Each sign was a confirmation from the universe, a sweet and loving reminder that I was being watched over. It was as if the angels and my spiritual guides were communicating with me in a language my heart could understand, even when my mind was filled with doubt. They were showing me that a loving plan was unfolding. This experience taught me a powerful lesson. Being broken is not an end. It is often the necessary beginning of a sacred journey. The cracks are how the light gets in. When our old world shatters, it creates an opening for something far more beautiful and divine to be built in its place. The pain and the feeling of being lost were not punishments. They were the catalyst for my spiritual awakening. They forced me to look beyond the material world and seek answers in the unseen realms of spirit. It was through this sacred shattering that I was finally able to hear the call of my soul and begin the incredible journey of discovering who I truly am, a light worker. As I opened myself to these signs, the whispers from the universe grew stronger and clearer. It was during a quiet meditation that I had my first conscious connection with a spiritual guide. A feeling of immense peace and unconditional love washed over me, and a gentle presence made itself known. It did not speak in words, but in feelings, images, and pure, loving energy. This beautiful being of light reassured me that I was safe and that my life had a profound purpose. It felt like coming home after a long and arduous journey. This was not a figment of my imagination. It was a real and tangible connection to a higher intelligence, a loving guide who had been with me all along, waiting patiently for me to be ready to listen. This initial contact opened a doorway to even more profound experiences. I began to learn about star beings and galactic energies, particularly the loving consciousness of the Pleiadians. The idea that we are not just human beings but eternal souls with connections to other star systems resonated deeply within my heart. It felt like a memory being reawakened rather than new information being learned. The Pleiadians, with their messages of love, peace, and spiritual evolution, felt like ancient family. Their teachings explained the intense longing I had always felt for a distant starlit home and helped me understand my sensitivity and my deep desire to help heal the planet. They were my cosmic guides. The Galactic Federation of Light, a collective of benevolent beings from across the cosmos, also entered my awareness. Learning about them helped me see the bigger picture of Earth's ascension. It was comforting to know that we are part of a vast interstellar community and that we have allies in the higher realms who are supporting humanity's shift into a new era of consciousness. This knowledge banished any remaining feelings of isolation. I realized that my personal struggles were connected to a much larger planetary awakening. My journey was not just for me. It was part of a collective mission to anchor more light and love onto the earth, guided by our star brothers and sisters. These celestial connections transformed my view of life entirely. I no longer saw myself as a small, insignificant person struggling alone on a chaotic planet. Instead, I understood that I was a soul of starlight, a cosmic ambassador with a sacred mission. My purpose was to be a beacon of light, to help others remember their own divine origins, and to assist in the planet's healing. This realization filled me with a renewed sense of strength, courage, and unwavering purpose. The universe was not just something out there to be observed. It was a living, loving family that I was an integral part of. The whispers from the cosmos had become a clear and beautiful song, guiding my every step. My journey of healing was not just about spiritual concepts. It was deeply connected to creative expression. Music became one of my most powerful tools for transformation. Certain melodies and frequencies seemed to speak directly to my soul, bypassing the logical mind and going straight to the heart of my pain. I would listen to ethereal, high-vibrational music and feel layers of old sadness and fear simply melt away. It was as if the sound waves were cleansing my energy field, realigning my chakras, and attuning me to the higher frequencies of my guides and my own higher self. The rhythm and harmony were a language of the universe, a divine medicine that helped me process emotions that words could not touch. Beyond just listening, I felt a strong urge to move my body. Dancing became a form of prayer, a way to release stagnant energy and celebrate my connection to spirit. I would put on music that felt joyful and liberating, and just let my body flow without judgment or choreography. In those moments of free expression, I felt completely connected to the earth beneath my feet and the stars above my head. It was a primal and sacred act of healing, allowing the life force energy, or prana, to move through me, washing away blockages and filling me with vitality. Dance was my way of communicating with the divine, a physical expression of the gratitude and joy that were beginning to blossom within me. Creative expression became my bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. Whether it was through journaling my celestial messages, painting the colors I saw in meditation, or singing melodies that seemed to come from another realm, each act was a way of anchoring the light. It was through these creative outlets that I began to understand my purpose more clearly. My soul's mission was not just to receive light, but to transmute it and share it with the world in my own unique way. Creativity was the channel through which my lightworker essence could manifest on the physical plane, bringing healing not only to myself but also to others who might resonate with my creations. This process taught me that everyone has a creative spark within them, a unique way of expressing their soul's light. For some, it might be music or dance. For others, it could be gardening, cooking, writing, or simply creating a beautiful and peaceful home. These are not just hobbies. They are sacred practices that connect us to our divine nature and allow us to be co-creators with the universe. When we engage in creative acts that bring us joy, we are aligning with our highest purpose. We are allowing the harmonies of our soul to flow out into the world, contributing to the beautiful symphony of planetary healing and awakening. It is a joyful and essential part of the Lightworker path. For a time, I believed that science and spirituality were two separate, opposing forces. One was based on logic and proof, the other on faith and intuition. However, as my awakening deepened, I discovered that they are actually two sides of the same beautiful coin. I began exploring quantum physics, and it was like reading a scientific scripture that confirmed everything my heart already knew. The idea that everything is energy, that consciousness can affect physical reality, and that we are all interconnected at a subatomic level provided a logical framework for the mystical experiences I was having. Science gave my mind the permission it needed to fully embrace what my soul was experiencing as truth. Learning about concepts like quantum entanglement, which shows how particles can be connected regardless of distance, helped me understand my connection to my star guides. It was no longer a far-fetched fantasy, but a plausible reality within the laws of the universe. Similarly, studying epigenetics, the science of how our environment and beliefs can change our genetic expression, validated the power of positive thinking and focused intention that my guides had been teaching me. Science did not diminish the magic of my journey, it amplified it. It showed me that the universe is even more mysterious and intelligent than I could have imagined, and that spirituality is the experience of these profound truths. This beautiful synthesis of science and spirit became the bedrock of my understanding. I realized that spirituality is not about abandoning logic. It is about expanding our awareness to include phenomena that current science may not yet be able to fully measure. It is about trusting our intuition and personal experience as valid data points in our exploration of reality. The spiritual path is one of discovery, and using both our heart's intuition and our mind's curiosity allows for a more complete and integrated journey. They are not enemies, but partners in helping us decipher the grand, beautiful mosaic of existence. This balanced approach brought me a sense of stability and confidence in my path. To anyone who feels broken or lost, I want you to know that this is a sacred part of your journey. Your feeling of being shattered is the fertile ground from which your true self can finally blossom. Trust the whispers of your heart and the signs the universe sends you. Believe in your own unique path to awakening. You are a divine being of light, a beautiful soul with a purpose far grander than you can imagine. We are all in this together, a global family of lightworkers awakening to our collective mission of bringing more love, unity, and healing to this world. Your journey is beautiful, your light is needed, and you are loved beyond measure.